She wasn't here today.
Yeah, I know that. I think I saw her in the deli yesterday.
Yeah, she was there yesterday, but not today.
Working in the deli.
Well, yeah. Like, she's been back there to, help out and shit a few times. So.
Was she wearing a t-shirt? Actual gray shirt?
No.
Who the fuck did I see back there yesterday?
Oh, that was, I think one of the leads from Bakery. Because they had, because literally everyone in the morning yesterday called out, pretty much.
That's what I saw. I was like, who the fuck is that?
So
she was wearing hair, I thought it was Taylor first. Like, why is she wearing a gray shirt? Like,
yeah. No, because she, Taylor was wearing a blue shirt or some shit.
She always wears red, blue, yeah.
Yeah, or green.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
All right, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, of course, bro.
Bye, Zoo.
Little Zuzu. He doesn't care. He's like, I'm just going out in the laundry room.
Do what?
Yeah, I like how he just like, I don't even care. Well, now he does. He's like, well, wait. Do I go? His question if he wants to go or not. Big goofy floof.
All right, man. See you Wednesday?
Yeah.
All right, bro.
Dios mío. Good old lunch breaks. Blah, 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 blah. And a little skill about co-worker and shit a bit. Hey, look at you, doggo. And look at you. He's looking at the garage door being like, but I want to go. Big goof. Oh, you big goofy doggo. You are a big goofy doge. A goofy doge indeed. Yeah, you is. At least it's not being boofy. I also just find it, like, absurdly adorable right now with, like, how he's been using this, like, little chair as, like, his throne lately. Because every now and then, depending on where the chair's rotated at, like, he'll either, like, kind of get up and do, like, this, kind of, like, look back kind of thing. Or he'll just be sitting there laying down and be like, my human, you have arrived. Just sitting there, staring at me. Certainly a goofy little thing indeed. Just a sweet little pup. Well, at least, got my coworker a little hookup. Give me a Baja Blasteronis. And gave him a Tokaroni. And now we chilling. I forgot to pull some fucking music up. Damn it. Oh, and I don't even have my Bluetooth in right now anyway, so, whatever. We shall have the sound of silence. Where the... Oh, there it is. Ah, Dios mío. Adidas. Adamio. Here, do that. There we go. Ah. Man, Sundays fucking suck. So fucking slow today. And then, of course, when my coworkers go on lunch, then it gets fucking busy and slammed out for a minute. And, goodness gracious. Not much can be said. Goodness of fucking gracious. But I guess, slow is good. Yeah, unless you're walking around like in circles, finding shit to do. And I guess apparently, like, our assistant store director has been kind of like on her ass today or something. He's not there anymore. Like, he's been gone for a while, but at least when I was there, he seemed like he was fine. He was just doing he was just stocking our shelves and shit. So, I don't know. Don't think about me. Now, I was a little nervous because I did have a drink, in the back, even though you're not supposed to have one, but, if he asked me about it, I'll be like, that was there when I got there. I don't know who it was. I just assumed maybe someone forgot to put it back in the break room or something. I don't know. I literally just shrug and go, I don't know. Don't know nothing about that. Can't drink on the job. I mean, you can, but you can't be in the like in your department. Like so I could, but I have to walk out of my department to do that. Like either go in the break room or have something or just have it like stashed somewhere. Which I have a little spot that I like to usually put it anyway. But yeah, I mean it's really stupid, especially like during the summer, like because it gets fucking hot back there, like during the summers and shit. Like so it's one of those things where it's like, even if it's just like going to the break room to get a drink of water or something, that time could mean a lot if you're dealing with heat illness or something. So it's one of those things where it's definitely stupid. And honestly, frankly, probably could get, fucked on a little bit by because of that, which frankly, arguably they probably should. I could get an open container like this, right? But if it's like a sealed container, like a vitamin water or something like that, then I don't think it should matter. Because I remember, at least when I first started working there, that was pretty much just how it was, where it's like, yeah, as long as it's like a sealed container or like a water from Starbucks, basically, then it's fine. But beyond that, like, it has to at least be like a sealed container of some sort. Water bottle, yeah. Which a lot of people have their own flasks and shit like that too, and and their own little like water bottles and stuff as well. And I guess apparently, unless they're like a checker or some shit, you can have that, but again, it's literally like there's only like certain liberties with that, essentially when it comes to, what position you're in. Because if you're in the check stand or whatever, then, yeah, you can have a water there. But if you're like, in meat or any other department, then no, not really. What's up, Dana? Zup, zup. Another lunch break, another scuttlebutt with work. Someone was trying to fuck with your phone last night near the end. I know. Like, I mean, he always likes to kind of, troll around and shit whenever he happens to, be in the same room with me streaming and shit. He'll do that. Him and LT were messing with it. At least it's them. Yeah, like, both of them, were definitely probably fucking with it. I'm pretty sure I was, like, closing myself out. Making sure that, do my usual routine, have the last little bit of songs, my last little drink with that, and then close out, and boom. And then, dip off after everyone else dips. But, yeah, because I did come back and they both, like, kind of scurried away from it. And I just kind of knew, oh, they're just trolling or whatever. So I just literally kind of went, whatever. If it was, like, someone else, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? And would just, like, straight up, like, walk right up to him and be like, yeah, it's my phone. What's up? Because I've had a few times where people like, taking a move it somewhere. And I'm just like, hey, I'd do that. It's like, I mean, if you don't want it like pointed at you or whatever, that's totally fine. I've had, there's been times where someone's asked like, oh, it's okay if I'm not on that. And I'd just be like, sure. And just move it, and that's just like pretty simple as. But honestly, most people just legit don't care. Also, there's a couple people that are kind of into it, like, oh shit, yeah, what's up? So, I mean, I want to do it if like most people were annoyed by it, you know what I mean? Like the only one reason why I do, stream over there is just because, some people honestly are okay with it and kind of like it. There's just occasionally where someone be like, no, I don't want that. I see some patrons there walk by, ham it up for the camera. Yeah, yeah, because, that's why I like to do it, because honestly, it legit is a vibe and shit sometimes. Sometimes it can really legit be kind of a slow day, or whatever. Like yesterday was kind of slow, but, it was steady enough to where it was popping, though, you know what I mean? Like, so, at least, all in all, like, even on a slower day, it can still kind of pop a little bit. Because especially, you always have your regulars that are there, all the time and shit. Or at least, most of the time. Because sometimes I might not, like, see the same people every weekend. But then again, I'm also not there, every little weekend, too. Why were they calling you Suzuki? Oh, my friends, Rip City. Yeah. Oh, that's because in high school I was nicknamed Suzuki because of my trumpet that I played. It was a Suzuki instrument, and on top of that, I also had I think a Suzuki. Oh no, I had a Suzuki guitar as well, and almost had a Suzuki keyboard too. So I just had like these Suzuki, brand instruments, and it started in band. Like my friend Ripsy Melty, they're kind of the ones who took it actually. Like so, it's theirs now basically. But like it was a nickname that I had in band, during high school and shit. Oh, and then after that, I mean, honestly, yeah, after that, it pretty much stuck. For the longest time, that's pretty much what was my nickname with everybody, at least with my friends and shit. But it kind of obviously has evolved now, but it still sticks around. So bass is Rip's only main instrument. Yep. Well, I think he has a drum machine too, but I don't think he uses it that much. But well, I mean, it's not his only instrument, but it's the one that he is the most skilled at playing on and shit. And it's a lot more technical. Like I can play bass, but it's for me, I'm more of like kind of a rhythm pseudo like kind of lead bass rhythm guitars type of bass. Because I could play power chords on a bass and shit like that, and nail that type of shit and string picking predominantly. But he's like a finger picker. But yeah, I first started playing trumpet, and then, well, technically not true. I mean, I would say a piano just because like my parents had this really cool old piano for like the longest fucking time until they got rid of it, which kind of made me mad. But like so like growing up, I used to just play around with that thing all the time, and then then once like the Bach program came around like during sixth grade and shit, when like every kid had to kind of do that, I was like, well, let me pick trumpet because it looks easy. Because I thought it'd be easy because what you blow into it and you have 3 buttons. Simple, right? No, obviously not. But I stuck with it, and I haven't played in years to be frank. But if I got my chops back, I can definitely still play it. And even though I'd be rusty, I mean, I could certainly still play it right now. And a lot of it is really just like muscles, and shit, mainly your mouth muscles. You have to kind of like do this. That's the same reason I used when I picked my instrument in sixth grade. Didn't work out either. Way harder than I anticipated. Yeah. Well, for me, like I said, I just kind of stuck with it just because, well, I don't want to like keep flipping around different instruments and shit. So I'm just gonna stick with this. So, and eventually I got it. But then I slowly but surely kind of started branching off into other stuff. With like guitar mostly during like junior or senior year in high school, and then started predominantly kind of doing that more often. And then I got a bass and started playing around with that. So kind of multi-instrumental now at this point. I stuck with it for 6 or so years, 6 to 11th. Oh yeah. The temperature, it was very oh yeah. There's a lot of like technicalities and difficulties with it, and but also a lot of different tricks too. Like when doing different exercises and tricks, and stuff, like for warm ups and shit, you kind of start learning different things, about the instrument where you're like, I could probably do this, and it will actually make the job a little easier when it comes to playing it. All time check. Okay, cool. It was oboe though, not trumpet. Right on. Yeah, I definitely want to like maybe pick up like some other instrument at some point. But if I do, I want it to be like maybe like a violin or fiddle or some shit. Do some fiddling. I think that'd be pretty cool because I could kind of fuck around with one. I know the tuning is different, as well. So there's definitely going to be a major learning curve with it. But I also just want to get a bow too, as well for for one of those, just so I can kind of play around with that with my guitars, because there are different like cool tricks and techniques you can do when it comes to like using a bow on a guitar or a bass. So I just want to get one of those just on its own, just so I could do that. But if I got something like that, might as well get like a fiddle. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, they look really fun. And once you kind of get enough, proficiency with it, then then you can have a lot of fun with it. Because I definitely want to do kind of like some Americana style fiddling and shit, like or some shit like that. Love that shit. Same here. I mean, also like a lot of like Americana, like working class like music and shit like that, also incorporates a lot of that type of stuff. Like one of my favorite songs by Hazel Dickens, "Never Gonna Keep Us Down," it is like hella. It like that song is straight up almost like a rock song with how like amped up it is, even though it's just all folk stuff. But it just has like straight up kind of like a rocky, almost like kind of like proto punk ish like kind of chord progression, but it's bluesy as fuck. And it's like I also want to do like either a rock or a punk cover of that song, because it legit is like got like a very ampy energy to it, and having a fiddle in that shit is just so cool. I mean, I know I've had the song played before, but it's been a fat minute since I've actually listened to the song. But like, and there's even like at one point where there's like a fiddle solo in the middle of it, and that shit just goes hard. I'm just like, what the fuck, bro? And the last little bit of the song too has like this really like thick like fiddle chord that plays at the end, where it's like do. But it just like it's thick too. It's not just like a note that stands out. It's almost like a hum of all instruments just having this thick like low kind of chord. It's a pretty badass song. Even though it's just straight up like folky Americana music, but for what it is though, it really is almost kind of like like pseudo like rock almost. I won't say pseudo, like proto rock in a way. Well, I mean, rock and roll was around during that time for sure, but I also hear that sound of Hindu fiddling. Oh, yeah. Oh, and horsehead fiddles, too. Oh, my God, I want a horsehead fiddle so bad. So semi-growling violin note. Yeah, it's like, it almost has like a growl to it. It's like, it's almost kind of growly. I like it. And honestly, considering, the song, too, having a little, like, kind of rasp to it, honestly, adds, like, a little character for it. I want to see how much, like, a violin would cost, honestly. Because I know, like, you can get, like, kind of, like, intermediate or beginner, violins and shit pretty cheap. But if I want to get one, I just want to get, like, a decent quality one, like, at the very least. Jump got pew-pewed again. Oh, boy. Here we go. I did hear about that. Wasn't that fucking staged or something? Like, I heard a lot of skepticism about this one. Like, supposedly the shooter had like a GoPro cam on him, and I guess Secret Service were able to spot the dude with his rifle or some shit from like 300 something meters. There just seems like some fishy shit with this one. It just seems odd. I mean, almost just seems like he just wants he being Trump wants to just kind of like have this, oh shit, they're really after me now. And also from what I've heard, wasn't there like, fucking, like, wasn't he not even near, the fucking, like, what, I'm pretty sure this dude, or this whole thing was not even really remotely close to Trump. Like, he just happened to be in the area, but, like, with what happened, like, he wasn't, like, in the vicinity where he was at risk. So, I mean, it just seems like he's just trying to, like, amp up this idea of like, oh, they're after me again, but it's also fucking Florida. Like crazies with guns in Florida, it's like, I mean, it's like fucking, you know, bread and peanut butter, bro. You know, it's like they go together. Fishy with the first one, to be honest. I mean, what's fishy about that one? I mean, because I get it, but I mean, that one honestly was legit all like in the moment kind of wild shit. Like, I mean, that one for sure was not fucking, you know, staged or whatever the fuck. It's just that Secret Service, you know, were pretty incompetent. But then again, you know, there's a history of the Secret Service, you know, not exactly being the most competent motherfuckers. Rushed to the hospital after a pew pew at his Mar-a-Lago. Rushed to the hospital? I did not hear anything about that. Like, if that's the case, maybe it was just like, you know, a way to, you know, do a quick checkup, make sure he's fine, or it's just a way to amp up more, like, you know, oh shit, you know, kind of stuff. I almost got hit. If you ever heard of Michael Khalifa, you should check him out. He's incredible on the fiddle, born blind and 8% deaf. Damn, really? Yeah, if you got like a song, you know, you want to send me on Discord, I'll check it out. Shit. Dude, it's a terrible pew pew. Let's just be frank. A lot of Americans are really terrible shots. That's why, honestly, you know, love this whole idea of like, we're gonna rise, boy, kind of bullshit. It's like you Elmer Fudd ass motherfuckers can barely like, you know, shoot a goddamn steel target. You ain't no fucking, you know, Hickok 45, bro. It's like, good Jesus Christ. And shit, I'm not even saying I'm a great shot, but frankly, I mean, if I were to go head to head of just some random yokel versus myself using the same weapons, I guarantee you I'd be a better shot. Frankly, just because I definitely got a lot more discipline than them. Because a lot of it comes down to that. It's just like, you know, weapon discipline. Shooting numbers, even dumb has power in numbers. No shit. Yeah, yeah, no shit. But at the same time, they're a bunch of fucking yokel. They're like more likely to accidentally shoot their neighbor's dog or some shit more so than someone like me. Like, I mean, they're more likely to accidentally like shoot a squirrel in a tree or some shit. And even then, I consider them lucky if they do get that. A little time check here. Okay. How many can you deal with before you run out, pew pew? I don't even really think about that, to be honest, because that's just kind of ridiculous. And like zombies, they overwhelm. Oh my fucking god, bro. Yeah, like with any, you know, people power, obviously, you know, it's strength in numbers kind of shit. But I mean, you also have to be coordinated too. You can't just like have a group and just like go willy nilly. It's, you know, you have to. There has to be like some sort of, like I said, plan with shit like this. And even then, like the likelihood of this type of shit is, you know, frankly, you know, not exactly, you know, I think likely. Is it impossible? No. But is it likely to happen? Fuck no. Besides, like a lot of that whole, like, you know, like especially people like Temple yelling like Civil War and all that shit. A lot of that was, you know, fucking, you know, mostly just like, you know, propped up by like fucking Russian handlers and shit. So a lot of it is mostly just done just try to stir up more radicalization and shit from fucking foreign powers. So a lot of, I mean, honestly, like all in all, a lot of that type of, you know, shit isn't really as, you know, like prevalent, you know, amongst, you know, the populace and shit in comparison to maybe like, you know, like when it comes to radicals and shit. Okay, I got one more bowl loaded up before I head on out. It's actually good. But I doubt Texas California team up. Yeah, no. I think that was kind of the point to have that. It's just to show that it's not really meant to be taken that seriously, but. Buddy, gotta get myself back to work and all that shit. But hopefully it should be pretty chill and I could just kind of get everything out of the way. It's gonna have to work if you're up. But anyway, well, let's call it good for now. So peace out and toodaloo.